Christ is risen, alleluia. The gospel for Easter Thursday today takes off where we left off yesterday with the disciples who had met Jesus on the road to Emmaus, returning and telling all of the disciples assembled there what had happened in their experience. And as they're sharing this, Jesus comes and stands in their midst. And I want to share just a short passage of this that really jumped out to me. While they were still speaking about this, he stood in their midst and said to them, "Peace be with you." But they were startled and terrified and thought that they were seeing a ghost. Now it really strikes me that Jesus says to them, "Peace be with you." And their immediate reaction is to be startled and terrified. Two things that seem to have absolutely nothing in common with peace. Now, Christ offers peace and they experience this great disruption. And as I thought about it, as I reflected on this more, I realized that oftentimes when Christ comes into my life, I don't necessarily experience a great sense of peace right away. Sometimes it feels rather like he's turning my life entirely upside down. Something that my wife likes to say is, when God turns our lives upside down, sometimes what he's really doing is putting it right side up again. Because sometimes there's things in our lives that aren't quite ordered properly. And he needs to shake things up a little bit in order that we could receive the peace that he wants to give. But in the meantime, it can feel a little bit chaotic. And I think that's what Jesus was doing to the disciples, turning their world right side up again. But of course, it took some time, and it took some time to accept and to receive that. So let's think about what parts of our lives has Christ perhaps shaking up a little bit, or turning upside down, or shall we say, putting right side up again. Happy Easter.